Cursor recently made a mess in the AI world by changing the pricing. Users were upset because of poor communication, but Cursor apologized for it. This is just one of the cases, and many people who use AI apps complain a lot. Why is it so expensive and why is it not unlimited? Even people who pay $200 a month still have limitations. And you might think, yes, it's because of greedy companies, shareholders, capitalism. And although it is partially true, there's even a bigger reason. AI tech stack is extremely expensive. And let me explain why. Why is it so expensive and why you almost never have unlimited usage? I know that because I also have an AI startup and I use AI service providers a lot. It's crazy expensive, especially for state-of-the-art models. We're not used to that because before most of the B2C apps were simply unlimited. That's because actions like getting something from the database or storing something to a database or similar are just really so cheap. AI is different, and all the service providers charge per number of input and output tokens. One token is approximately 3/4 of a word. That means if you have 750 words, that's 1000 tokens. And you might think, I ask such simple questions, 50 words max, that should be cheap. Yes, but AI always charges around 4 to 5 times more for output than input. So even if you ask a 10-word question and then get a 1000-word response, well, that response, that output will be the major cost. However, LLMs are stateless, which means they don't remember anything. With every single prompt, you need to pass the entire chat history as context, otherwise they simply don't remember. For long chat, you can do some optimizations to pass only the relevant parts, but you can see how quickly that adds up. Question 1, 50 tokens input, 1000 tokens output. Question 2, we need to add up those two, that's input, so 150 input, and let's say 2000 output. Now we add it again, so question 3 is 350 input and again 2000 output, and so on. But that doesn't end here. Apps like Cursor and many others don't use only AI's general knowledge. They need to pass more context like code or website content or similar things to the LLM. Or if you, for example, chat with YouTube videos, for every prompt you need to pass relevant parts from videos, or even entire transcripts if you want the max precision. So even though you think you prompted something really simple, in the background it's the entire chat history, it's the context, it's maybe some more actions, so it's a lot of tokens. And if you add AI agents in the game where multiple LLMs are working together, creating plans, different prompts, retrieving context, searching the web and doing it over and over again until they're satisfied with the results, then you see, this is a lot of tokens. Then you might think, why are OpenAI and other providers charging so much? They're so greedy. But in the end, they are actually using money. OpenAI, for its highest plan of $200 a month pro plan, it's still losing money. And in 2024, they didn't make any profit. They lost $5 billion. It's easy to spend money when it's not yours. But how on earth can you lose money on a $200 a month plan? Well, if you ever gamed on a laptop, you know that the battery is drained fast. Because graphic cards burn a lot of electricity. Graphic cards are also expensive and they're very much needed for AI, also because of crypto they became more expensive, and that's for example why Nvidia is blooming. So besides, of course, paying massive salaries to get best engineers, companies like OpenAI also have massive costs for equipment, electricity and cooling. It costs them tens of millions of dollars just because people say thank you to ChatGPT. So for AI startups, and why do they charge more? Why do they need to have limitations? I hope it's more understandable now. They pay a lot for the API usage, so they need to somehow limit it, otherwise they would go bankrupt. That's why all these apps have systems like credits and limited usage or switching you to a cheaper model. And I know sometimes it sounds a lot, 40 a month or even 200 a month. But if a company like OpenAI, which recently raised 40 billion, cannot afford to have unlimited plans for all models, then how could other AI startups afford it, especially bootstrap ones? Because if you charge 30 for an unlimited plan and then you have users who burn you 250, well, it's not gonna end up well. Hope this helps by bringing another perspective. Drop any comments, like, subscribe. Cheers!